Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Old Guards are some of the most spectacular hero skins in Hearthstone, and the N'Zoth skin that was released some years ago has been my favorite hero skin of all time. But now Blizzard released another one, and it's a pretty fancy one. It looks like this. And this is the Khotun hero skin, and it's a hero skin for Druid. Why Khotun for Druid? Blizzard clarified this on Twitter, just saying that this was one of the designer's favorite classes to play, Khotun Druid, so Khotun went into Druid. Not much more to it. People have also been arguing that, okay, why is Khotun in Druid? Because Druids were one of the foremost opponents and enemies of Khotun. So yeah, there are some discrepancies perhaps with the lore, but either way, Khotun hero skin looks pretty sweet, I have to say. So yeah, we have now N'Zoth for Warlock, we have Khotun for Druid, but there are more old cards, so there would be more of these really fancy hero skins coming. But for which classes would those come, and what hero skins could we still get? Let's take a look at that as well. First of all, we have Y'Shaarj. Y'Shaarj was the strongest of the old gods, and because he was the strongest, he was the main target when Titans and old gods fought early in Azeroth's history. And Titan's Amantul ripped Y'Shaarj from the surface of the planet and destroyed Y'Shaarj. But this turned out not to be that great of a move, because Azeroth started bleeding. The Azeroth, the world soul that was being born inside Azeroth, was almost destroyed by that. Titans became convinced that, okay, we actually cannot destroy old gods, we have to imprison them, we could kill Azeroth otherwise, and Y'Shaarj's influence was still left even after the old god's death. In fact, Garrosh Hellscream eventually discovered the heart of Y'Shaarj, and it was still very potent, and Heart of Y'Shaarj corrupted Garrosh Hellscream in World of Warcraft, resulting in quite some adventures. So Garrosh Hellscream, we also have the corrupted Garrosh already as a portrait in Hearthstone, would kind of make Y'Shaarj a hero skin for warrior in Hearthstone, most likely, based on both what we have already in Hearthstone and what has happened in World of Warcraft. And then we have Yogg-Saron, including in the new legendary card that's coming in the miniset today. Yogg-Saron was imprisoned in Ulduar, but Yogg-Saron corrupted its guardians, and now in the miniset in Hearthstone, Yogg-Saron has broken free. That did not fully happen in World of Warcraft. Yogg-Saron was trying to break free and had managed to do a lot of corruption, but not completely breaking free like in Hearthstone. Yogg-Saron's notable servants include Loken, who was one of the key guardians of Yogg-Saron and was corrupted by Yogg-Saron, and Cho'Gall, who served Yogg-Saron willingly. We have both Loken and Cho'Gall in Hearthstone as characters, and both of those are Warlock cards. So that sort of would make Yogg-Saron natural fit with Warlock. On the other hand, Hearthstone Yogg-Saron is mostly associated with random spells and spells, so that would also make Yogg-Saron quite suitable fit for Mage, and because Warlock already has N'Zoth, if we were to get Yogg-Saron portrait, I think that would probably go into Mage. So those were the 4 traditional old gods, but there's actually some other old gods as well. Notably, there is G'huun, the blood god. The flavor text says it all. All of the other old gods used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor G'huun join in any old god games. Yeah, G'huun, the blood god. G'huun is not really an old god, it's sort of an old god. G'huun was the creation of the Titans. Titans were experimenting, trying to figure out how can we actually destroy these old gods. And as part of that experimentation, they accidentally created G'huun. So G'huun is much weaker than the real old gods, but a similar creature nonetheless. And G'huun already exists in Hearthstone, G'huun the Blood God, as a priest card. So G'huun hero skin would quite nicely go into priest, so that's something we could have. But besides the 4 original old gods and then this one Titan experimentation, there could be one more. Because Xal'atath may also be an old god. Xal'atath is currently playing a behind-the-scenes type of role in the current World of Warcraft story arc, so we're going to learn more about Xal'atath in the near future. Xal'atath was initially trapped within the blade of the same name, Xal'atath Blade of the Black Empire, which was the priest artifact weapon in World of Warcraft during Legion, and it has also appeared in Hearthstone. Xal'atath is one of the cards that you can discover from Queen Azara. But Xalatat has been freed from Blade of the Black Empire, and Xalatat has possessed the body of a dead high elf to use as her shell. But there is much that we still don't know about Xalatat. Xalatat, when you were playing Priest and you were in possession of Xalatat, Blade of the Black Empire, with Xalatat trapped inside, Xalatat kept whispering you. There were tens and tens of lines of dialogue that Xalatat spoke to the priest. And that dialogue implied that Xalatat was also an old god in days of old and then maybe lost in the power struggles or something. But we have not seen Xalatat's real form. We have only seen Xalatat trapped in the dagger, and we have seen Xalatat in possession of a high elf body. But unless we see Xalatat's real form in World of Warcraft, we don't really know what Xalatat originally looked like, so we don't have tools to get a hero portrait. On the other hand, Hearthstone could also be the forerunner. We could see Xalatat's true form in Hearthstone first, because after all, Hearthstone was the first place where we saw N'Zoth's true form. Hearthstone team collaborated with the World of Warcraft team to bring the first N'Zoth painting, the N'Zoth card, back in Whispers of the Old Gods, and we could see something similar with Xalatat as well, and that could be quite sweet. Then there's the matter of like which class would Xalatat go into, and that would quite naturally fit into Priest, given that Blade of the Black Empire was the Priest artifact weapon, and that could give us another pretty spectacular, completely new, novel old god that would still be deeply rooted in World of Warcraft lore. But for the time being, let's enjoy N'Zoth, and then the new Khotun is almost here. Being a legendary skin, I assume that this is only going to be available for real money, and the price has not been announced yet, but it does look really, really sweet. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.